I'll just say a few things and you just have to say the first thing that comes into your mind when I say it. The decision review system.
Dhoni.
Hello and welcome to the 11th episode of All Things Cricket by the 12th Man. I am your host, Ujjwal Sachdeva, and we have with us a very special guest today. Someone who we don't see on our screen too often, but someone who is a very important aspect of the game. So we have with us performance analyst Saurabh Walkar, who has been at Dugout, and we've seen him there as well. And he's a performance analyst with multiple teams around the globe in global T20 leagues as well as in the Ranji Trophy. So welcome, Saurabh. It is so good to have you on the show today.
Same here, same here. Thanks for calling me.
Okay, so before we begin, how have you been dealing with this lockdown? And I know you have an academy and you've been running it very efficiently. So how is everybody dealing with it over there?
Right now it's been a month. I've started my academy also. I mean, I've reopened it
Yeah.
after the lockdown, and I'm just following social distancing and calling one-on-one students, one student at a time or two students at a time, and spending most of the time there.
Okay, and anything that is particularly different in this routine, or it's altogether the same?
Normally, whenever I'm at my academy, it is full of kids. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got 100 kids at my academy. And now I'm going there and I can see only two faces at a time. So it is very difficult to
Yeah.
adjust.
Okay, so in this episode, we will be going through it in three segments. So initially, we will be talking about performance analysis, your story, and how you go about things. And in the second segment, we will be talking about some questions that we have received for you, as well as a little bit about Indian cricket. And finally,
Okay.
we'll have a quick rapid fire segment.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so I'll start with my first segment. My first question to you is about you. So I want you to tell us about the role you play. And in fact, I think most of us know about the role that you play. But a question that everybody wants to ask is how do you do it? And what is a particular aspect that you look into? What is it that you do? Just tell us everything about it.
See, it depends upon like with particular teams with I'm working with. If I'm working with the junior group boys, like under 14 teams of Mumbai Cricket Association, or under 16 boys, then we look at their technical aspect because our main goal is to improve their technique. But when I'm working with a senior team, then it comes to more of making strategies. Or analyzing their strength and weaknesses and accordingly making plans or giving plans to your coach and captain. So these are the different roles I play with the certain groups of teams.
Okay, and I just had to ask you this question. So when you are analyzing a particular player, I'm sure you do it while recording them in practice. I'm sure you analyze the opponents and you do everything. So according to you, what serves to boost the performance of a team better when you're analyzing their practice or when you're studying the opponents and telling them about what to do and what not to do?
See, when I'm analyzing practice of our players, like if my attack team is practicing and I'm recording their movements, like what are they, if they're batting or bowling, then it depends upon what that particular player wants to work on, because most of the time. And the players who are representing at the higher level, they don't want to change more into, don't want to get into more into technique. So their focus is to, are they ready before the delivery stride? I mean, what are the, if the bowler is ready, if they're looking at that sort of things, they're not moving or their head is still or their eyes are still. So these are the like small factors they really work upon. And when it comes to opposition analysis, what we do is we have their we have their videos, we have their stats about their wagon wheel, about their dismissal videos, their scoring shots, their weaknesses. So I go all those stuff about their past 2 years of performance, and I make my own report and I make few pointers which really I can talk with my captain and coach in the team meeting. So on these things we discuss and then we start our team meetings about the opposition.
So this report that you make that you're telling us about, so is there any particular aspect, say, like you said, you read their strengths, their weaknesses, their record in the past 2 years. So have you come through or found any particular aspect of someone's game that is more important than, say, other things?
See, when I'm analyzing opponents, so it's very important to understand what your captain and coach wants, what they are comfortable with, because you can't enforce, this is a strategy, and if you don't have such strength to deliver, then there is no point of making strategies. So so as an analyst, my role is to make sure what we have, and according to our strength, we have to deliver such plans. So it varies every time I work with different teams.
Okay, and one more thing, when you say you when you work with different teams, we for a fact know that there are a number of teams that you worked with. You worked in the Ranji Trophy, you worked in so many global T20 leagues, you were even in the T10 league recently, and you've explored different formats, you've been in different countries. So my question to you regarding that being that what do you think is when you go to certain global T20 leagues, you've been with experienced T20 players, where do you think that the importance of these leagues lies in cricket, in taking cricket forward? Is it important? Is it taking international cricket down? What do you think about them?
See, talking about the facts, now leagues, because of leagues, you get more of crowd coming up in the stadium.
Yeah,
It's a shorter format. You get to see different country people playing together. So these are the things now people want to see, and international cricket, yeah, you get crowd in T20 game or a one-day game. It's hard to see, such crowd in five-day game. But leagues, what you do is, leagues are like a team. Every state has their own team.
yeah.
So you get that support for your team from that particular venue. So it gives it's like a football games you watch in the EPL.
Yeah. So when you again one more thing, when you talk about the different teams that you have been working with, another team that you have worked with is the Divyang cricket team in India, right? And
Yeah.
my question regarding that being that in a country like India, where we treat cricket as a religion and it stems in every household, it stems on every television, for an achievement such as winning the World Series in 2019, there was very little or negligible notice and attention given to something of that honor and something of that dignity. So, how do you think, basically, you've been with that team and you've been associated with the sport for so long? How do you think we can bring segments of cricket, such as blind cricket, wheelchair cricket, Divyang cricket, to that level of importance and significance that should be given to them?
I think that was my first experience working with the Divyang cricket team, and I was not sure, how I'll be dealing with such teams because I had no experience of working with them. And when I attended their first camp and I saw the potential and talent, I mean, I never found out any disability in them. I
Yeah,
mean, they were. It was like a normal cricket. So there's not much of difference, and they were giving their 100%. They're playing with passion, and these players are very down to it. I mean, the player who are representing their country,
yeah,
and when see, it doesn't matter you are representing internationally through
agreed.
BCCI or Divyang. It doesn't matter. You are representing a country means you are representing a country.
Yeah.
So those people are so down to earth. The players are so down to earth. They give so much respect, and they want to learn each and every time. I mean, they'll come to you. They will ask you. They take your guidance. They ask for your experience. So it was a good experience and something new to work with such teams. And when you're talking about getting them that much importance as compared to our mainstream cricket,
Yeah.
it is. I think it will take time. It is not impossible. It will take time. So when I visited England, and there I saw the support which was getting to England cricket team, to Divyang cricket team. There was a crowd, so it was amazing. Hopefully, one day in India, we get such support.
Definitely. Okay, that is it for our first segment. Now, our second segment will be about Indian cricket and some questions that we have for you. So
Okay.
before we get to the questions that we have for you, my first question to you is that throughout all of these years, what is your personal favorite Indian cricket moment?
My personal favorite Indian cricket moment is obviously winning the World Cup. Since I started working in cricket or started watching the cricket. I think winning the World Cup, whether it is 2007 or 2011, I think these are the moments which you still remember, and you still have those moments in your mind when it comes to Indian cricket.
How did you personally celebrate these moments?
See, when we won 2007 World Cup, I was traveling to that time I was in Bombay only, and next day I have to catch a train to go to Chennai uh, for it. To train myself as an analyst. So, that was a moment before I started my analysis journey. So just the next day, I got the train and I went to Chennai.
Yeah.
And when in 2011 World Cup final, I was watching that match in Rajasthan, and I was watching with Rahul Dravid, sitting in Taj Hotel because we had a IPL camp in 2011. So that time we were just watching with Rahul Dravid. It was, watching a cricket game final with Rahul Dravid. Obviously, it's always stays in your mind.
Definitely. Okay, so I will be moving to some questions that we have received for you, and they more or less have to
Okay.
do with what you do itself, right? So
Okay.
the first one is about your academy. So it
Okay.
says that you have an academy where you're definitely nurturing budding talent. So when you approach that talent, do you look at them a different way? Like you just mentioned, under 14, under 16, you work more on technique. So the steps that you perform with them, are they the same that you do with international players, or you have a different, altogether different approach with them?
Yeah, actually, whenever a kid come to my academy, they come with their parents, and the kid's been watching matches on TV. And if you find any leg spinner, he'll say, see, this is how Imran Tahir bowls, or this is how Shane Warne bowls,
Yeah.
and they want to bowl like him, or a batsman, bat like Virat. So you get these basic questions, and they come with the basic expectations, and they try to follow what these guys are doing on TV. But luckily, I'm interacting with international cricketers and sharing my experience with them. So whenever I ask kid to follow such action, and when he replies with, no, Hashim Amla is doing this, no, Virat is doing this, no, Shane Warne is doing this. So what I do normally is, luckily I can talk to them. So I'll tell you one story about Imran Tahir. So there's a one leg spinner in my academy, and he follows Imran Tahir a lot.
Okay.
And he saw his front foot landing, back foot landing. He started following all his actions. So I told him, see, now he's 40, 38, 40, whatever the age is.
Yeah.
For him, now that is fine. He got that action. Now he is managing it. But now you are a 13-year-old. I have to make sure you are performing a perfect action.
Yeah.
So don't follow that action. I'll give you what the basic and what the best action suits for you. So then I told this incident to Imran Tahir, and
Yeah.
then Imran Tahir sent a voice note message to him.
Oh, good.
Whatever Saurabh is saying, follow that. Don't follow this action. So these are
I
the
was at your academy.
even I was talking with Hashim Amla about his batting technique when he shuffles across, and there's so many kids they watch Hashim and they say, see how much he shuffles across and he's playing.
Yeah.
So even I've told him, so many kids ask me about your technique, and I have to answer them. What should I do? So then he told me, I'm ready for some particular deliveries. Whatever my
Yeah.
weaknesses, I know what my weakness is. I play to that. I play that way. So these small messages, through them I can give it to my kids, and they start following what the basic and what the basic cricketer required. So this is what helping them at a small stage.
Yeah, and as a young cricketer, honestly, even as a 13-year-old, I don't even know how they'd react. Me, if I get a message from an international cricketer, I would definitely lose it in. follow each and everything that they say, that you say, without any question, right?
And even what I do, I capture their action, whatever their action is, batting, bowling, and uh, and if they're idealizing any cricketer, I send it to them, and they give them some inputs. Okay, do this, do that. So that motivates them as well.
Definitely.
So just I'm trying to help kids to perform better.
Okay. And the second question that we have for you from someone is that in cricket, we've had a certain increase in the technology that we're using. We have DRS, we have hotspot, and now we're also moving towards technology wherein we will know if a bowler has overstepped. So, do you think we are crossing a line? Are we using technology optimally? And or do you think we are just moving towards a phase where we're reducing the need for an umpire in the game?
See, I don't think so. Umpire will be there always. I mean, the on-field presence makes a lot of difference.
Yeah,
And technology, yes, if you have technology, then why can't we use it? I mean, to uh, human error, to reduce a human error, we can. It's good to use technology. I mean, if you see football or tennis, they've been using technologies.
right.
Then why not cricket? So there's no harm in using technologies in cricket. So.
Okay, and it should just be to supplement the game, not definitely not replace an umpire, right?
Yeah, it will not replace umpire, but it will give fair chances to both the teams. I mean,
Yeah,
human error you can, because in cricket sometimes human error favors one side, but when it comes to technology, it won't favor one team. It will be for both the teams.
okay. So now we'll move to our third segment. It will be a quick rapid fire segment. So you just have to say the first thing that comes into your head. So my
Okay.
first question to you is that throughout all of these years, on or off the field, what is the funniest cricket incident that you've been a part of?
Funniest, I remember on my birthday and on 16th April, I was in Kolkata dressing room and we were celebrating that there were two cakes brought up, and I was cutting the cake, and after cutting my cake, there were all Rajasthan Royals team players were ready with the eggs, and I had almost three crates of eggs they were throwing on me. So I still remember that was the funniest thing.
Must have been quite a bath afterwards.
Yeah, it was quite painful, and then I was in the bathroom for like 2 hours.
Okay. My next question to you is that in the current international scenario, who is your favorite player?
In current, favorite player is Virat Kohli.
Okay, and who do you think is the most technically sound?
Technically sound. See, as I'm an analyst, I don't believe in there is only one technique. Every player has their own technique of dealing. So I think at some stages I feel Ken Williamson, is with a better technique. Or even if you take Steve Smith, he has his own technique.
Yeah.
So whatever action or whatever technique suits them, they can follow that. As long as you're watching the ball well, as long as your head is steady, as long as you're playing straight and you're scoring.
Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense because there are a lot of
Yeah.
discussions on fixed technique. What you say is definitely true. So as long as you're yielding the results, the technique
Yeah, I don't,
can.
even when it comes to technique, even teaching to my kids, there is no set formula. I like to keep it to natural. What are the natural cricket coming out of them, and then I add few more pointers or few more skills which they can nourish their skill.
Okay. So in the next set of questions, I will be giving you a this or that option, and you have to pick the one that you think is better.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'll start with who do you think has the brightest future, Shubman Gill or Prithvi Shaw?
Prithvi Shaw.
Prithvi Shaw. And who do you think amongst these two spinners has the brightest future, Rahul Chahar or Ravi Bishnoi?
Rahul.
Rahul Chahar. Okay.
Rahul Chahar.
And moving to the Indian limited over setup,
Hmm.
if we could play only one spinner between Yuzvendra Chahal and Kuldeep Yadav, you would prefer?
Yuzvendra Chahal.
Okay. And between the pacers, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Mohammad Shami.
Mohammad Shami.
Okay. And better fit to open the T20 batting along with Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul or Shikhar Dhawan?
KL Rahul.
Okay. And one last question does not have a right answer. I'm pretty sure it's just a fan debate that goes on forever. Who do you think is the better limited overs batsman, Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma?
I think Rohit Sharma.
Okay. Okay. And now I'll just quickly say a line, and you have to say who suits that the best. So I'll start with, who do you think is the greatest T20 batsman?
Greatest T20 batsman. AB de Villiers.
AB de Villiers. And the fiercest bowler in the international arena right now?
Stark.
Stark. The best fielder around?
Jadeja.
Jadeja. And finally, the best all-rounder according to you?
In T20.
Yeah, in T20s.
Russell. Andrew Russell.
Okay, great. The smartest cricketing brain according to you?
Smartest cricketing brain. Not much of people are aware about Chris Green from Australia.
Okay. Anything particular about him that makes you say that?
No, I mean the way he thinks and the way he looks at the game, he's always ahead. I mean, 5 overs ahead of the game, and he uh, he reads that situation really well. I mean, the feel about the field changes or the bowling changes, the way he was making in CPL, and the way the way he was anticipating the opponent and the batsman. It was quite remarkable at the young age. I'm talking about
Yeah.
young age. He's just 23 or 24, I
Yeah,
guess,
exactly.
but he's amazing.
Okay. And you've been with a lot of players, you've worked with a lot of them. So the one player who you think has benefited the most working with you?
Okay. One player was benefited the most. Mm. See, there are so many cricketers, but I can't name one. But I've been working with Surya Kumar Yadav. I was working with Riley Russo. I mean, those people were really, they came to me to see their videos, or
Yeah.
to work on their technique, or to find find something about when they were not performing. So I think these two people really that name comes up.
Okay. And the opposite. So players you've been telling something, but they're as stubborn they can be, and they're not listening to it.
Shane Warne was never okay with the analysis. So whatever it is he know what he has to do. So
Okay. And again, the easiest person to work with, someone who would listen to your advice in one go?
Johan Botha.
Johan Botha. Okay. So now I'll just say a few things, and you just have to say the first thing that comes into your mind when I say it. So the first one is women's cricket.
Jemima Rodriguez.
Okay. Ranji Trophy.
Mumbai champions.
The decision review system.
Dhoni.
Dhoni. Okay. And Sean Tate.
Wildest thing. Mad bowler.
Okay. Yuvraj Singh.
Superstar.
Superstar. And the Indian Premier League.
Indian Premier League, like a diamond. I mean, the best in the world.
Okay. So talking about it, moving towards IPL this year, of course, I mean, you will have a preference. So the team that you think will clinch the title this year, the best squad, and the team that you think will take it.
See, I was with Rajasthan Royals.
Yeah.
I worked with them for 3 seasons. So I want RR to win that title.
That's what I
But
meant.
somehow,
You will have a preference.
yeah. But looking at the squad balance, I think this year CSK will clinch it.
Okay. And any players that you have in mind for the orange cap, the purple cap, or somebody who you think will shine, or any young talent you feel will come up and do really well?
Young talent, I think this IPL might be Shreyas Iyer.
Okay.
I mean, I know he's been doing on and off
Yeah.
really well in IPL, but I think this IPL, I think he'll shine it better. He'll do much better.
Okay. And finally, after all of this, I have one last question for you. What is cricket for you in one word, if you could put it if you could put it that way?
Life.
It's life. Okay. That is it from my side. Thank you so much for being here. Anything that you want to convey to the people watching this, to the audience, to those who've sent in questions for you, to me, anything?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, whatever you've been asking me, I think everything is covered. So nice to have with you here, and thanks for asking me questions. And thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. It was so good to talk to you and interact with you.
Same here. Same here. Thank you.